Alright, man say yo, DJ Khaled come to Jamaica a while I work with the same artist them and the song them nah it. And he got a whipping. He got a whipping for that. But when they examine it, where is the light?
Hello and welcome to Stargazing, the show that brings you up close and personal with your favourite stars of reggae and dancehall music, Jamaican popular culture and people who've impacted society in a very big way. I'm Shaun Cain. In this edition of the show, we'll speak with Mr. Peppa, an artist that has been stinging his fans into musical submission with his scorching dancehall tracks. Let's take a look. Rastafarians have been a model of righteousness throughout Jamaica for many years. Children that are brought up in Rastafarian households generally find that much of their values are shaped by this religious movement's strong belief in fairness, mutual respect, and love for humanity. These values have kept one of dancehall music's biggest stars, Mr. Peppa, relevant and current for many years. Born and raised in Bedward Pastures, more commonly known as Dread Heights, in Tavern near Papine, St. Andrew, Mr. Peppa spent his formative years in a community of Rastafarians. He told the Stargazing with Shaun Cain Show that his neighbourhood prided itself on the strong, cohesive community spirit that it has maintained over the years. He said everyone looked out for each other and was always ready to offer their support whenever it was needed. The artist remembers much of his childhood and proudly reveals that he read voraciously. Among his favourite materials were classics such as the Hardy Boys series, Mills and Boone, Nancy Drew, and above all, the Holy Bible. The Move Up hitmaker says it took him more than 3 years to get through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, reading just one chapter a day. This has exposed him to a wide range of words, which have strengthened his ability to communicate effectively. However, inwardly he was nurturing the dream of becoming an entertainer and sharing love and kindness with the world. When he passed the Common Entrance examination in 1992 and enrolled at the Excelsior High School in Kingston, he knew the prospect of meeting other aspiring entertainers would reinforce his decision to write and record popular songs. Mr. Peppa explains that although his older brother is the legendary producer Steely of the Steely and Clevie hit-making duo, it did not make his journey of becoming a dancehall toaster any easier. Mr. Peppa says Steely had wanted him to focus on getting a good education, and so he was not keen to introduce his younger brother to the music industry. The artist, who's had a major hit with Talk, says it was another producer that gave him the break and published his first song. Mr. Peppa joked that when Steely heard the single, he invited him to a studio session, and that was when he recorded his first track for the legendary producer. Mr. Peppa has also worked with other producers. Since then, the former Dread Heights resident has been extending his repertoire that aims to inspire, reassure, motivate, and deliver happy music. The Peppa Them Entertainer has a rich and diverse catalogue that includes Get a Vision, Boast, and Fire Upon the Beat, featuring Kabaka Pyramid. Welcome back. Mr. Peppa, well, go on, sir.
Yes, Sean. It's great to be here. You know, we have been planning this link up for a little while and thing, but we're here and it's grateful to be here. You know, because you know you're doing a different level of working on the music and you know it's fully appreciated. So, you know, it's a blessing to be in your presence right now, you know.
Thanks for acknowledging that, man. Well, we're doing our best, brother, because this is our way of kind of putting across the culture and promoting our cultural heritage. So, yes, I'm doing my bit, because I know you're doing your big bit as well, you know. So,
yes,
it's all good, man. But you know what? You ply your trade in an industry where careers are awfully short-lived. What's your secret to staying so long in the industry? Because we're not used to this. How did you manage it?
Basically, I think I was blessed to, you know, make my entry into the music at a time when it wasn't really oversaturated with a whole heap of different elements. You know what I said? But I was born in the 80s, 1980 to be exact, and get exposed into the music at a very early age because my mom is a Rastafarian singer in the 12th tribe of Israel, and my oldest brother is Steely from the producer duo Steely and Clevie. So we
Really?
got early exposure to the music, yeah. So and being exposed to the real rooted, grounded side of dancehall and reggae also too. So I think that is one thing that I use and apply to my music moving forward, and that is one of the elements that keeps me going. And also too, we were birthed from the streets. We were not birthed from a factory, so to speak. You know, me I say where people make us and mold us. You know, we were molded by the streets. You know, going from show to show, from our community to other communities, until eventually start getting inside studios and going through that whole process that you hear a lot of older artists talk about, like
The sound
you know,
system.
yeah, so before you get the DJ from the sound, or you have to go to the gate, go wait before you even get to go in, and you know the whole procedures artists, you know, went through that, and I think that built me, you know, to last. You know, so we'll eat more elements, and then you know grow and mature musically, and intellectually and spiritually, and get more mentally tough, and you know, so all of them things are combined into making Mr. Pepper, you know, into the artist we sustain over the period of time.
But the man sound really balanced and composed.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
You know what? I attribute that to, cause I'm born in a little boardhouse, you know.
Yes.
You know, my mother and father are Rasta, but born in a real humble settings, no light, no water, up in the hills of a Papine inside there. And reading was the only escape for me, because there was no TV, no cartoons, no nothing. You know, me I say, and we live in the ghetto, but on the hillside, so we never really so much have no neighbor where next door and playing outside at the gate and all that stuff. We never had that. So reading was very fundamental, and that is a huge part of my, you know, vocabulary right now.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So what did you read then? Because at that age, I can't imagine you reading anything apart from what? Anansi stories? I mean, what did you read?
No, actually, I never really read an answer story like that, and I got, because my father was a reader also too. So I don't remember if back in the days our dads had some small war comics. Like there were some war comics so my dad usually read them little war comics and stuff, and then he started reading like Archie comics. I started off with Archie
I was
comics
thinking
and
that, you
those.
know. I was thinking that, but
Yeah,
let you talk.
yes, Archie, and then I had an uncle that had moved in with us, and he was like this artistic type of uncle. He usually drew like spaceships and all that stuff, some future spaceships, and he spent months designing them on cartridge paper and stuff. And he loved Conan the Barbarian. So we he always buying them and getting them. So we start reading Conan comics and stuff, and those are more like an adult type of comics. It's not that the average kid would read Conan, but we started reading Conan, and then I started reading Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew and the Bobbsey Twins, and then you know, eventually we just start. I was like, I just read anything we can get my hands on, because especially on Friday, we make sure we have books to last me the whole weekend, because I can't come out and play or nothing, you know, till we
The
get old
Hardy
and start
Boys.
joining the library.
The
The Hardy
Hardy
Boys, the
Boys.
detectives.
Listen, man, you're
Those
good. No, you're good, man.
that book.
You mentioned Hardy Boys because I read the whole series.
Yeah,
Hardy
I read the
Boys.
whole series. Drew
Wow.
and when brother named Frank,
Yes.
and the dad and then they had a best friend called I think Chet, and they had Phil, and then you had Biff, and you had them have Carrie, one of them girlfriend, and then you had the other girl, and then the father, and yeah.
You're taking us.
Hardy Boys
I,
made
I
me,
lift
yeah,
my hat, man. I lift my
yeah,
hat.
Hardy Boys
Really with you,
made
Mr. Pepper.
yeah, man, respect for that, man, because not a lot of artists can really even mention the Hardy Boys. People don't even read these days, you know, man. So that was a great journey for me, and it became a one of my main tools right now as a musician. Words, you know. So, and I never stop reading no either.
It's a good foundation. I can see you had a solid foundation, and that's really good
Yeah,
because you understood what you were reading, you
yeah,
enjoyed it, and you saw how people told stories. So that taught you
yes,
how to tell stories.
right.
And what more do you
Because
want? And look at your job now. Your job is to tell
yes,
stories. It
I
was good, man.
remember when you took common entrance,
Yes.
and when you pass your exam, I think the teacher writes a thing called, what was that thing like? They write a little thing like they would say, yo, Shaun Cain is very good at math. Ariel Walters is a very avid reader. And all that. I just always remember they always talking about my reading from school, because I was doing debating while at primary school and all that stuff. So, you know, and but the Hardy Boys was they were the one who made me want to become a detective. I never really want to become an artist. I never dreamed to become an artist. I dreamed to become a soldier or a detective because I had a soldier uncle and he usually drive the same little Jeep them that I saw in the war comics that my dad usually read. And me and my brother usually be like soldiers. And when I was going in primary school, I saw the Boy Scouts, and I was like, so yeah, at the time that they say you could join up to whatever club, like you
Yes.
got to pick a club,
Mm-hmm.
and you had Builders Club, you had Drama Club, you had Boy Scout, you had Girls Guide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I never joined the Boy Scout because the Boy Scout wear shorts and they're in blue. Yeah, they're in blue and they're in shorts, and my uncle wear green and him
Good.
wear soldier clothes,
Right. Real
green.
soldier.
Yeah, real soldier. So I said, that's not me. So I went to the drama club. And that was my first introduction to the stage, acting in primary school. And then even when I went to Excelsior, I did acting for Excelsior in Little Theatre and other places. Mm,
Well rounded in
yeah, man.
communication, man, and in the arts as well. Very good, man. I'm so
Yeah, man.
impressed with all of this. But let's come back to your music now. I want you to take me along the corridors of your journey because you started. Is it in the 90s you started out?
Yeah,
Or
my first
2000?
record.
Your
Well,
first
technically,
record.
no. Technically, my first record was in '95 when I was 15, while at Excelsior High School.
Right. So give us a
So,
story then. Take us back to that first record and then walk us through now up to where you are now. I mean, we'll do that in about a minute or so. Go on.
all right. So back in my community in the Tavern side, they call it Bedward Pastures.
Right.
Back in the days, it was called Dreadites because it was a lot of Rasta. Rasta was
Right.
the main population, the main influence, And then Natural Black, he's from Guyana. And when Natural Black came to Jamaica, he came to our community. I don't know how him end up in our community, but he ended up in our community. And his name was Black and White at the time. He came from Guyana, his name was Black and White. And we end up changing him to Natural Black and whatever. But he was the one who, because we usually go to studio every day, me and Natural Black and stuff. And one day he asked me to follow him to a particular studio down by Walton Park Road. And I went down there, and this studio is owned by this longtime singer called Trevor Jordan.
Yeah, I know
He's
Trevor
passed out
Jordan,
now.
man. Used to have a pub or a club, a bar or a drive-in somewhere down the yes.
Right. So on the Walton, he had a wholesale and a record shop downstairs. And then upstairs, he had like a club and all them stuff there upstairs and the studio. So I went to Trevor Jordan with Natural Black, following him down there, and Natural Black ended up leave me. I don't know what was the reason, but he ended up left me down there. And that is how I met Danny English, because I saw Danny English and there was a particular rhythm playing in the studio, and Danny English was writing for that rhythm. And I was just there mumbling, and then there was this particular female who knew my brother Steely and knew my sister, who was a dancer with Shabba Rankin at the time. She was touring with Shabba Ranks. She was in the crew called the X Girls. So that particular female knew my sister and knew my older brother also too. So my kind of did was jamming around and just mumbling. And then the Trevor Jordan come at the end of the night, and night was coming on, still in my school uniform and everything because I was going to school. And he said to me, from Evelyn, I hear you mumbling. Let me hear what you have. And I sing the little song, yo, Mr. Me Sharp, like the razor name Gillette, and the nigga me want, well, you know me, I forget. I think that's as far as I remember, but that was when I was in like 7th grade. So I went to high school quite early, so I was like 10, 11 at the time. So he said I should come back the next day. And I went back the next day, and he said to me, it's only one track leaving, okay? You know, it's 24 track time there. And he's saying it's only one track leaving, so you can't even double track this song in. And I said, okay. Went in and did my thing. And like, I think a couple of months later, one of my friends, my neighbor that lived in front of me, because I'd leave up by Papine side and go live with my grandmother out by East Kingston.
Right.
Like 1 year after that record, because I leave Excelsior when I was 16. So I was down by my grandmother out by Windward Road, and one of my neighbors said to me, say, yo, I just hear you on the radio. And I'm like, nah, you can't hear me on the radio. I had no song to play on the radio. And he was like, yeah, man, song about me sharp. That was a song that usually sing in the community. And so I rushed down to the record store down by Waltham and looking for Mr. Jordan and thing, because my dad always cussed me and tell me, I'm a roadside DJ and I'm no real DJ until I bring a record in front of him. Right? So I went down there looking for Mr. Jordan. He wasn't there. And I said to one of the ladies them working in the record shop, said, yo, I saw, because I look up on the record shelf and I saw a song called, because I'm looking for the name, Sharp, and it was not there. And I saw something named Egging at the Nest. And there was a line in my song called Lay Egging at the Nest or something. And I said, yo, that must be it. So I said, yo, let me see that record. And I see my name. And my name was Pluggy Steel. Pluggy Steel at the time, because my brother was Steely. And you know me, I said, so I named Pluggy Steel. And I saw my name on the record and I told her that's me. And I asked her for one copy. And she gave me one copy. And I rushed home and showed my dad. And, you know, that was it for the first record at 15-year-old.
So what did he say? What did he say about that record, Dad? When he saw that the vinyl in his hand, and you know that was
I usually be out late at nights and all them stuff there, and there was no problem now. I could go to any stage show that I want to go, and then I start linking up with Ronnie them, and Ronnie them live nearby at the time. I start linking up with Ronnie, and his my brother Steely did I bus Ronnie them and Monster shot them. So them accept me in and thing, and you know. So that was the beginning of my little journey there as musicians, you know. Yeah.
So
and of course
what did Steely say about that record when he heard it, knowing that, well, you've done something now, you've got a recording, so
no, Steely
probably
didn't even
almost
know I exist at the time. That record never made it to the airwaves or anything, except maybe Richie B played or one of them stations, but it never, you know. I said
maybe it was Winston Williams, because I know Winston and Trevor they were good friends, because that's when I was a kid.
So I'm also maybe RJ. It maybe play an RJ at them time there, you know. But earlier on when I just started going to Excel, yeah, Steely came around, you know. He came around to the house and he was like, you know, we are the first ones in the family to pass the common entrance. So he must say, oh, these are the little ones that is going to move on to university and all that stuff. So he took me to library because I joined the Tavern from library and all that stuff. That was one of my escape out of the house, go to library every Saturday. And my little brother go to football training. So Steely usually pick me up in the 190E blue Benz and drop off my brother to training and drop me to the library and stuff. And he was really behind that whole educational stuff. But I was a DJ the whole time and him never known, you know. I said, I do my little thing as a little community, just loving it, you know what I say? And the first time he saw me out by Arrow Studio, him start dealing with me different, because he must say education with I deal with. When I deal with DJ business. So since you want on DJ, I'm gonna treat you like how I treat any other artist. There's no special treatment for you. And yeah, so eventually he never knew that song. The song that he knew was, because this reached my teenage years now and started DJ in different communities, Dunkirk, you know, Rallington Town, Winrod Road, Rockford, Bull Bay, Southside, Tivoli, all at downtown areas, them Kasha Park, we start venturing out to Kasha Park and them uptown places. Anywhere we hear Jews land round by Black Scorpio Studio and all them stuff there.
So and King Jam is.
Yeah, and King Jam is on them place. I got them place for me in a school uniform. So we always have that outward spirit there. So me in my teenage years now start travel back them ground there now, Sugar Minot and all them places, and you know, just start doing the little rounds and thing. And my aunt that was living, because I'm living by my grandmother out by Winrod Road at this time. So my aunt, you know, my other auntie was one of them nice, pretty hot girl there and thing, and she was best friend with one of Bounty Killer girlfriend. And you know, when I was 12-year-old, spending weekend by my grandmother, because I love going down by there by weekends and summer holidays. You know, Bounty Killer came by one time, him and the girlfriend, to look for my auntie and signed my autograph when I was 12-year-old. And I still don't tell him this up to this day after 2 songs with him. I still don't tell him yet that he signed my autograph.
Do you still have it?
Nah, unfortunately, no. But I remember that Bounty Killer write very good, because me did surprised about the writing. Because everybody know Bounty cross, dark, ignorant, mad. So, but the writing, very excellent. What would I say? Pretty writing.
Penmanship. Beautiful penmanship.
Yeah, Killer can write, and he writes stay in school and all that. I was 12-year-old at Excel, you know. So I start DJing in the East Kingston area and think I will start going out, as me I say, different places now. So my aunt, as me I say, you know, them girl always come link my auntie. And one of the girl them in the crew, she was with one of the guy in the production crew called Togetherness Record.
Right.
And so she always tell me like, yo, my boyfriend them gonna come to Jamaica and they're gonna produce and they're gonna put out a big rhythm and I'm gonna tell them that, Steely have a little brother named nah boss him because Steely nah pay me the mind because him don't want me to turn the DJ. So them
Yes.
say
Yes.
she's gonna tell them about me.
Yes.
So what these dude did was come in to Jamaica with them millions and go to Steely and make Steely bill a rhythm for them, not knowing him not tell them plans.
And you put advice on it.
Yeah, so they make Steely make the beat and take it back. And one day I was home and the girl came and said, yo, the man them flying and them a call you, them want to see you now. So I went up there nearby Norman Garden and I went up there and the guy was like, yo, hear your brother read him there. Make me hear where you have on it. So, start DJ a couple songs and thing and him hug me up and thing and say, yeah man, you're tough man and thing, yeah, my DJ. And that was all, man. That was my first affiliation with management. That song Steely heard.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to see him one day because him and one of my older brother had some arguments. So I wanted to weasel in diplomatically. So I was like approaching like the younger brother concerned over my two older brothers behaving away. So I wanted to use that kind of entrance in. So when I pull up at the studio, Donovan Germain was just coming out. And when Steely saw me, he was like, yo, I don't want no brother and nobody around here and Ray, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh yeah? And I fan him off, I walk away. And by that time, Jeremy jumping in van and gone and Steely said, hey, little boy, come here. And call me back. So I went and I was talking to him and I was standing outside of the studio gate and he's standing at the inside of the studio gate talking to me. And he was like, yo, I hear you have a song on the radio and if it was me did that song, it would be better and blah, running this like a joke and stuff. And the engineer was like, yo, Steely, calling him every minute. And he said to me, come in the studio for a minute. And I went in the studio and I heard, oh no, if it's there far from trouble if you can. Embarrassment as small as a muscle. Y'all you better can cook. I hear all them songs playing and fixing up and mixing. And then he was like, give me a phone number. And I gave him the house phone number for the house. I had a cell phone at them time. Yeah, and give him the house phone number. And he called me early one morning, like a couple of days later, he called me early, like 7 o'clock, and said, come to the studio at 9 o'clock. My heart start beating hard now, because I know this man is like a monster in the studio. I hear about him, everybody talk about him. The man there drill you like a sergeant.
Yes.
You see me, you know, easy push over in the studio. So
yes.
I went there and with my heart over the right side instead of the left side.
The left side,
you know, it's over the other side the way me afraid. And he was like, yo, he was playing the rhythm. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get on this beat. That was the what was that rhythm? The Bitter Blood rhythm.
Right.
Peer it's and Cape Town, Lexus, y'all better can cook.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, he's playing the beat and he's like, yo, you have any like jokeify song or any funny song like a jokes in it. I'm like, nah, I'm not a joke DJ. I'm a serious DJ because I'm a read, I know words and I don't know the comics. I don't know about comical type of DJ. Like Professor knows about me. My word when me get exposed to was some more serious words because I read them for myself. I never listen to people and I take for them words. So I said, no, I'm not jokeify song. And he said, sing your best song. Sing the best song when me think was my best song. And he said, sing your song that you don't sing no more, like you think that one of your worst song. Sing the worst song. And I said, yeah, that one, I like that one the better. He like the worst song better. So he said, anyway, we're going to write a song for this. Because you don't have no song where me think suit this rhythm. And that was how me and him start write my first song as Mr. Peppa called Who are the brother with them bucking at the bima we didn't know what he is dancing the rela. Mr. Peppa. See him one we wake up him yard, wash him dirty car, fit $20. Dance down and attack and a bus big laugh, a drink Calosie and a sip Hennessy. Meanwhile, me and the tree lie down on the grass and them girlfriend, she not stop penning me. She wants to see where me possess when it's on it. Some look at something like it was more like this is a gardener guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, him sweep up the yard and thing, and the Dan girl watch him until the Dan girl and him start link up. because the Dan too busy, him have badness and court case I deal with, so me I drive out the Dan Lex and make some big man flex and something. The song was like a story. So he's that type of character with music. Him like story and funny stuff, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we made that song, and I was signed to a different label that him never know, because I never tell him that them money, whatever. Them money, when I signed to get in this record, never know that I went and recorded with Steely, my brother. So we always a link out and Steely, all of it. I said, we have a boss and show him, say, you know. So
You can do it without him.
So yes, I went behind their back and record for Steely because I got an opportunity. My big brother is telling me come in the studio to record. I can't tell my brother no.
No.
You want to know the next dilemma? I had signed a 5-year contract with Together in this record.
5?
Yeah, at the time. I don't know nothing. I just signed on paper because the money, you don't know. We just do things at the time without. So anyway, I signed on something with tick so. Anyway, me name Plug is Steel at the time. So one day I was at studio at Sapphire Studio at the time by Crossroad, and the artist named Squeaky Joe, he was a man where always I roll with my brother. And I was at the studio and one day I ride up him like a scooter bike and like, yo, your brother call you. And I go so boom and jump on him scooter bike and go New Kingston at Studio 2000 where the studio is. And my brother meet me at the door and hug me up. Quite surprising for him to hug me up, you know. So hug me up and be like, yo, you know, I've got to change your name. I want to change your name. I said, what do you mean? He said, that name the way I have. No, he said, you know, I want you to change something out of the song. I said, what? He said, your name. In the intro, I want you to change your name. I have a better name for you, because that name is like a corner name, like a roadside name. That can't work in the professional. Remember, and I signed a contract with that name. So he came up with the name Mr. Peppa. I'm like, Mr. Peppa, I don't like that name, because I had a friend. I had a friend on my avenue that I live out in the East Kingston that time. Where I gave him Peppa, and Peppa can everybody know him as Peppa. Everybody know me as Pluggy from high school. So I'm like, wow, get myself in a dilemma now, because I'm Mr. Peppa. He might change my name to Mr. Peppa when I sign a contract. Behind him, don't know some sign contract. People that sign contract, don't know my record with him just now. And him come change my name. The only thing is him change on my sound on the record, because I couldn't even recognize myself. I usually have the high pitch sound originally by myself. Now him make me have, well, I could have who the brother with them bucking on the beam a bigger tone. I never recognize my tone. So nobody, the song was playing all over every weekend, every day on IRFM, I really was bigger than Bitter Blood. And nobody never knew until like months or something later. You know, my people them find out. And anyway, we did ash out that, and them couldn't stop it because my brother stealing. You know, so that was the starting of Mr. Peppa, because he was the one who named Mr. Peppa on that first record, and that was year 2000 at 20-year-old.
Yeah, so tell me, how did you resolve that issue where you signed a 5-year contract as a one name, and then Steely changed your name to something else, and you were kind of more working with him now? What happened there?
Yeah, well, them on the Together in these records, them kind of did understand the whole levels and know say it's my brother, and they know it was a situation that they maybe couldn't get in between on a certain level. Like they would be maybe on the losing end, but maybe legally they would have claimed to me legally, but they decided to, you know, just leave everything and yeah, and just so but you know, pursue nothing.
Good.
So it never was a real confrontation or a situation.
Yeah, but that's quite interesting, man. So Steely started respecting you now and started seeing you as an artist.
No, after I record that song, he and we done on a record, he was like, you know, all the, you know, if he like a crew around, which was Squeaky Joe and Agony Polish and Captain Barky and Wickham, and that with them people, them personal like a crew, them run joke and laugh year in year out every day. So he was like, oh, Squeaky, I'm not really ready yet, you know. 5 years. And that is year 2000, 5 years.
So how did that make you feel? Because you thought that you were kind of there now, because you recorded you heard yourself on record, and for somebody to come and say, well, you're not quite ready yet. What did that do to you? Yeah,
that kind of, it startled me. I even went back home and tell my friends them, but my friends them know, say, yo, the man said, a 5-year time, I got boss and thing, and everybody I say, yo, the man they are this and the man they are that and re. But that song, I show you how everything work out. that song made it to a VP All-Star compilation, right?
Right.
And on that All-Star compilation, I'm number 16, the last track. And this guy, Mark Pinnock in New York, he was close friends with VP and him buy a CD at the time and was apparently listening it on his way to Jamaica. And was quite interested in this person singing this track. You never see my name before. Never hear my name before, never hear a song. I'm mark here that the first song as Mr. Peppa. So rightfully so, him no know me from nowhere and he's quite startled. For me, amongst all these superstars on a VP CD and he never hear about me before. Never see me on nothing before. So he was working with Frankie Sly at the time. And he sent Frankie Sly to come and find me. And Frankie Sly come and find me. Me and Frankie Sly start par. And it ended up that the guy flying in and me meet him and he was the producer for, at least the owner for the record label, Natural Bridge Records. Right. So Natural Bridge Records now, me and them start roll and Snow Cone come in the picture and we put out the rhythm called the Rice and Peas Rhythm. And that was a rhythm that bust Snow Cone, the producer, and bust the Natural Bridge label also too. And start giving Mr. Peppa a different level of buzz and stuff because I had a song on it that was playing a lot because of course our production and my management them at the time had signed a new contract with these people, me and Frankie Sly. So, them start pumping some interest in the career and stuff and, me continue being in the streets doing what I got to do and stuff and Steely recorded me and 2 more beats. But that was before I met Natural Bridge though. I did 3 songs with my brother on the Bitter Blood, the Bad Weather and the Teacher. And them 3 songs there solid me up more with VP because all of them stuff they come out on VP. So
I'm glad to hear that, man, because I know like somebody who's just hungry to succeed. If it's not happening, it's gonna frustrate you. So that's really good. And with all the hypocrites talking and all, where did that come from then? All the hypocrites talking. Why did you write that and you were going around singing it all the time? What did you experience that triggered that song?
I mean, I was a teenager at the time, when that song right, I was like coming out of my teenage years, going into, from my 20 and me record a song there when me at 25. We never really have much experience in great hypocrisy, so to speak. But we have knowledge and and eyesight to see other things that go on. We learn off other people's lessons and stuff and other people's mistakes. And we in our own little way experience our own small farm of them little things and obstacles and it was just a next song to me in my head. It wasn't based off anything personal, but as life goes on and as you get different experiences and different levels in life, the songs start
mean a lot more to you.
At first, I say it can apply it. I can like put it to situations that happen to me now. And I can say, that situation there is exactly what my song talk about. A man stop something for me at a moment. Yeah, you gotta feel away, you gotta feel angry, you gotta whatever. But at the end of the day, we in a position mentally, musically, where we'll find other ways around.
Right.
Yeah, so when I told it stirred emotion at the moment, at the time, and you might even move forward with it, but you never ever make it hold your back though.
Right. You kind of let go. You find a point where you let go.
And you let go for that. And you take the lesson, learn from it, and move forward with the lesson, but not really the whole animosity of the situation.
So don't you hold it against that person and you say, well, you tried to stop me, so I don't like you, and I will avoid you. If you come across me, then I'll find something toxic to say to you or something like that. Is that all gone and you just see them as another person and you just carry on? Is that it?
Well, to me, it depends on the situation or the person, because you have times where you have to be diplomatic about the whole thing, even with somebody where you know they try stop a thing before, or somebody where you know already in a kind of maybe in a situation where you have to kind of be delicate or diplomatic. But you have other times we just disregard things completely, So if you say, boy, I'm gonna like someone or this and that, you have someone, maybe we can say 2 artists in our business. For me personally can say, I'm not too in them people, you know what I say? But otherwise than that, let's move on, because so much is going on our side that, I say, another time occupy the turn kind of thinking it, and we learn also to. So them kind of thinking and them kind of energy and vibration that will work against you. Work against you. your positive nature where you're supposed to apply to the music, you know. So we learn off a Lego some of them things also too.
So who are those two artists?
Well, I'm not really mention. I don't think they weren't mentioning. You know why I say they weren't mentioning? Because right now, me not see them significant as how they were perceived to me, to myself at the time when time we did build up that vibe there. You know, me say when me say, yo, me not like that boy, or me not like that boy, or that boy I try stop me thing. No, it not so significant. You know, so you know, if it was significant to the moment of now, maybe more that try mention them name. One of them is a big superstar, Zine, and the next one is one where is a little monkey trying to be a gorilla like me. You know what I say? So him worse now, him have a handicap voice. I can't say that much. Him don't have a real dancehall voice like Mr. Peppa. Handicap voice. One try say him name gorilla. And me I say he's a monkey. Because you know, and me say, man, a gangster gorilla from we born, we not ask the whole of New York and the world about that and VP them. And at 97 them and Power 105 and all these things. Ask about the millions of people. So if you're not say gangster gorilla upon that level there, you can't try to take my thing. After I'm not dead and gone. You know me I say, if you can say, all right, then I say them are the gangster gorilla. So a man try to take my money. You know me I say. But you know, we have a little at the time. When it did fresh, we have a look back and forth. No, it's not significant. So I can't mention them name.
Yeah,
In a real way.
time has taken away the significance of it. It's kind of withered with time.
Taking away the significance, but we don't forget. We take the lessons of the moments and move forward. But them no weren't mentioning in our interview with my Virgin Shaun right now.
I like that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? You mentioned also that you grew up in a Rastafarian community. Let me hope that you haven't answered the question yet. But I just want to find the values that were around you at the time that you were growing up. How have those prepared you for what you are doing now?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. So the other day I was at the studio. I'm reason with this artist named Tabby Diamond from the Mighty Diamonds, the lead singer from the Mighty Diamonds.
Yes, Tabby, yes.
So,
is it Tabby Shaw or something like that? Donald Tabby Shaw or something like that? Yeah.
You know, I don't really know him full government, but me just know him as Tabby Diamond. You know, as Diamond something.
All right.
So, but you are the man for me. Remember, you are the journalist, you know, so.
Yeah, and I've done the research as well. Yes.
Yes. You never on top of your game, bro, fam. So, I reason with Tabby, and he is a real humble person. So, what did I reason and thing? And I said to him, say, you know, so I'm glad I'm born in a Rastafari. I'm born in a 12 tribe of Israel. So he said, 12 tribe of Israel. I said, yeah, I'm born in a 12 tribe of Israel, man, and thing, man. My mother come from Trenchtown and thing, and he must say, your mother come from Trenchtown. I said, yeah, man. I said, yeah, my mother named Sister Nanny. And the man take off him glasses, and the man said, hey, youth, man, I not take off my glasses for nobody. Don't say another word. The way I'm answer me think I say something bad. I think I'm gonna mention my mother name now, the man, because I'm cuss about it and say, yo, don't say another what's in that word. Don't say another what's in that word. So I say, what I say? I actually think I say something bad. The man I say, hey, I'm gonna tell you this and start telling me about my mother. Prophet Gadman from the 12 tribe of Israel and the whole movement from Trenchtown and until it move up to Hope Road, up a little bit up from Bob Marley Museum. That is where the headquarters is. And he might give me a whole history. And he must say to me, I know there was something about you, I reason with you, and him find out to steal him, my brother and all that stuff. So him realize it, but just for him see me with certain imagery.
Mm-hmm.
But the reasoning now.
Him now made you as a Rasta man. Can do
no. But the reasoning now make him say, him see why, him see the connection to my reason, him see why my reason a certain type of way.
Is a Rasta man without the locks.
Yeah. And him realize I'm upbringing.
Yes.
In a 12 tribe and in a Rastafari house, mother and father. Him realize that this is what helped shape me. And me know this is what helped shape me and my reason and my outlook on certain things in life right now. It has made a tremendous impact because in my music, I always have general positive messages in all of my music, even though it's hardcore dancehall music. Mm-hmm. So Rastafari and 12 tribe has played a tremendous role in my life. On my 12th birthday, while going to Excelsior, I'm come home. My father said to me, say, boy, I don't have no big present for you, but I cook a nice meal for you. And you're going to start read your Bible today. So actually it was tonight because it was evening. So after dinner, that was the first time I started reading the Bible on my 12th birthday. And if you and I read the Bible one chapter every night before I go to my bed. And if you read the Bible one chapter every day from cover Genesis 1 to Revelation 22. If you read it one chapter a day, it take it 3.5 years. So I started when I was 12 and I done when I about 16 and a half year old or something.
So you've been through the whole Bible.
Yeah, chapter a day, one chapter every day. I mean, I tell us I remember everything. Now, I got to tell us me is this big Bible philosopher.
But that in itself is a feat. That's a big feat.
Yeah, that's a big feat because my mom and my dad read the Bible twice, 2 times. So when I read the Bible at my house, it have notes in it and all them stuff that we can follow what my parents them they done read through and make certain notes and highlight certain stuff and all them stuff that I read in the Bible. So them thing that's my said upbringing of Rastafari and you know the exposure to literature from an early age, you know, is what really mold Mr. Peppa into the type of person he is right now. That when you know a lot of people you might talk them, so oh my God, never know he was so smart or intelligent or you have a way with words or whatever, and you know. But me never really said no much more than thanks.
Right.
I appreciate it. But me know where to come from, and in situations like these, when we have all the deep reasoning, you know, we can people will have a chance to understand where it come from.
Very good, man. I like that kind of grounding, that kind of background, and the solidness of you. So that means that the lyrics that are coming out of the dancehall now, shoot this, shoot that, and who likes the war and who wants to kill this, and I mean that should be a bit of a bother for you, then, is it?
I think a significant role is being played in other music, where certain music concern the glorification of certain kind of music. And I think a lot of people coming into the music with certain background already going, you know, music and them first carry them, I come with certain things that them do from the streets and them come not changing, them come with it. And, you know, them use it side and side with the music and it influence a certain demographic because you can't influence a 60-year-old man for go out there and shoot somebody and video it right now.
Yeah, it's too late.
But maybe you can.
Too late.
Yeah, but maybe you can influence a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 20-year-old.
Stripes and some street cred.
Yeah.
So they'll prove themselves.
Yeah. So there's a certain amount of demographic. That it is affecting, and the demographic that are perpetrate a whole heap of things on society right now. What we can't turn a blind eye on. It's not music alone. We all know that. We know.
Yeah, but you see, what I always say about this, Mr. Peppa, is that it's not music alone, and that's what the DJs say. They point to a myriad of other aspects of society that might be influencing those guys. But my question is, why does reggae and dancehall, why do they have their names have to be called into that? You see what I'm saying? All these different aspects. No, what I'm saying is all these different aspects that they blame for it or they attribute to influencing the guys in a negative way. All right, I get that. But why is it that they have to say reggae as well and dancehall? Those two, the music should be, you know, beyond reproach.
I think it's scapegoating at its finest, and it's an easy target. Artists are an easy target, and because we're close to the people, them. But and then the next thing, politicians don't want to take accountability and know that their role may play even more major parts. I think it's a huge deflection and scapegoating and really just kicking the can. As we hear the pundits and the American station, them always talk about kicking the can down the road and all that stuff. Like nobody really want to address the problem.
Yeah, there's just to deflect attention.
Yeah, so we know it's poverty, lack of education, lack of opportunity. You know, me I say adverse environment of people living conditions is like trash. You know what I say? We know all of them things that feed into the frustration and in turn the actions of some of these people. We know that plain old bad mind and greed and red eye and laziness lead into enough of them youth action. And of course the glorification of your man a shot, a man a killer, and the respect that comes along with that in the
Mr. Peppa, that's where my issue is. I can understand those social issues, the deprivation and all of that, the bad mind, this and all of that. But why is it that reggae has to get involved in that? to be helping to push that kind of agenda. Let all those other
Because
things push the agenda. You don't get involved in that because your job is to influence in a positive way. So the artists, they're
right,
not listening to any of that because they are helping. They're part of it. I can understand
right,
defending their food as well, don't get me wrong. I know that. Because if we try and take gun and violence out of the music, a lot of them wouldn't have anything to say. So they have to defend their food. But I'm sorry, man, I'm not in the defending food business. I'm looking at righteousness in society.
yes, I believe that same way to me share the same sentiment, and you have people where who say, all right, art imitate life, imitate art. So it's like I'm gonna say, yo, me I sing what me see, but him not understand say in turn when him a sing what him see, it in turn fuel and continue that same thing we must see. And I say him a highlight art. So yeah, people who hide behind that, if them, have that kind of intellect, they say, all right, I gotta use some word maneuvering, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, we just have to face the raw facts of the matter. And know say it have it influence. But most artists are come from the streets. 90% of the youth them are bust out of dancehall and reggae, them are come from it, them actually see it around them, them experience it, some of them partake in it. So I think it's a whole cultural shift I forgot happen on many fronts.
Mm-hmm.
It now gonna say, oh, clean up the music alone. All right, then I could stop play every gun song on the radio and in a dance hall and make every artist stop sing every gun song.
But
Let's
that's a
do that
start.
and see what.
But that's a start.
But I don't think we're gonna see no significant drop.
Well, let's try it first then and prove it. Let's do the experiment first. Let's not and say,
No, but we try that already. We try that already.
When?
Musical,
When?
we all, no, I mean, I go against it. All I'm saying is that try it, but also with the other problem, the other thing, like make it be a collective effort. It can't just be, all right, then musicians don't take responsibility. I don't think that even scratch the surface of the problem, because until the real social issues and economic issues get addressed, which is one of the main things. All right.
But then again, Mr. Peppa, that is what the artist should be doing, because that was the purpose of the music, to highlight the plight of the dispossessed.
But you know what happened?
But that's gone now.
Yeah, because
it's very few artists you find out there, Mr. Peppa, you yourself included, who are fighting for us and trying to uphold righteousness and trying to highlight the plight of the dispossessed and marginalized in our society.
And we see it not only in dancehall music, not to Vera, but only to even substantiate what I'm going to say. Even in a hip-hop music, remember the early hip-hop artists them will usually come out, even Ice Cube them, where they come out, did a talk about the system and Public Enemy and Ray, and it was more of a cultural, you could have a
revolution.
segment, of them artists there. You know me, I say even KRS-One and them man, they did
a Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, yes. Now you look what happened in the hip-hop world.
No, but we don't have to be like them.
No,
because there's a lot of immorality. Listen, Mr. Peppa, let me just finish this. There's a lot of immorality happening in society. Look in America, in Europe and all of that. What should we do? Embrace it because they're doing it? So that argument doesn't wash with me to say, well, other people are doing it. So because other people are doing it, we're going to do it too? So what's the reason for doing it? Because other people are doing it? What role does it play in our lives?
No, it's even bigger than that for me. So it's not even it's to make a comparison, you know. You know, I say.
But if they make that comparison, I'm going to tear it down because I don't like that comparison. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's strong.
No, we never finish even so. I say.
All right, sorry to bite the head off, sir.
yeah. So I say even look on it. So when we look on, say, all right, Jamaica and this and that, I say, to me, I point to a larger issue of a world situation where the times and the people of the world is of a very different time we're living in right now, where negative and evil are rearing it right and up on a different level.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you know me, I say so.
Totally agree.
Make no comparison. If you say, boy, I choose them and do it, we do it. I say, boy, we are face a massive problem, and we
We have
have to
crisis.
start.
We have a crisis.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we have a
Moral
world crisis. We
decay.
have
Mhm.
moral decay. Okay, there's a moral decay of the world going on right now. Where we have to fight for the soul of the youth. Them, and if you notice, when we really do want to come back around and say is, if you notice, the minute Rastafari in a reggae music and the Rasta movement, the minute that is no longer the forefront of dancehall and reggae and Jamaican representation in our cultural form, you notice the decline of society and morality
The
where the
floodgate
youth them,
opens.
and
The
certainly, and
floodgate
even
opens.
yes, and even where artistry is concerned and music, you
Mhm.
understand? So we have a problem where, boy, I may tell you may do a couple of interviews from the other day, and them question have come up, and it's like the solution is I don't even know how to suggest a solution right now more than no. So we
But
have to
Mr.
just
Pepper,
start little by little
we
somewhere.
have to move beyond that. We have to suggest a solution. Because other than that, if we don't suggest a solution, we're saying we're giving up. And
Yeah.
immorality come in, kill off everybody. You see what I'm saying? Everybody
Yeah.
can turn whatever they want to turn and turn the world upside down because we haven't got a solution. Nobody's prepared to zoom in on a particular aspect of it and say, well, let's start there and see if we can build from that point outwards. We can't give up.
I think most people stumped.
Well, let's come back to the music for a little bit now. Trap dancehall. That's a big
Mm-hmm.
issue because dancehall doesn't look like dancehall anymore. Apart
Mm-hmm.
from
Or
the
even sound
accent,
like that stuff.
apart from the accent, I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. So, what do you think? Where is it going? Because it seems like we're taking dancehall down a dead end road now.
Um, like anything, dancehall is always evolving, and we always see the evolution of dancehall over the years,
Yes,
right?
but it's always
Um,
remained true Jamaica, truly Jamaican though.
the difference we see now is quite obvious. The groove of dancehall and the beat of dancehall has changed dramatically.
Sound is different.
Yeah, the sound is very different, and the sound is what makes dancehall what it is. You know, I say because we naturally talk our talk,
Exactly.
and so we're not gonna change that and start twang.
Mhm.
But the beat them has changed significantly. Um, the topics has changed significantly. They are not as much diverse as original dancehall topics. Dancehall topics came with a lot of concepts,
Mhm.
and most concept now is like just
Shoot,
money
shoot,
and
shoot,
bling and
shoot.
ray
Or
and
what are you
run up
gonna
with
do
my
to the
gun.
girls?
Yeah, so the topics are very limited. And even though the back in the days, artists usually sing about the same girls and the same looking good or whatever, it add more concepts to it. You and me are sing the
Story.
same kind of song. Me
Yeah, the
roll out in my
story.
Benz, some of this, some of that, in my caravan, fat bat girl, burn down my parent, and you sing one more song like
You
that.
careful,
Right?
you're giving too much away, you sound too much like him, That's
Yeah,
why
I
you do
say
it
so.
like that.
Is
I
the
get what you're saying.
same type of, you know what I say? So that is one problem. That is one issue. And as I said, the youth, them not idolizing the foundation
True.
of dancehall enough. I think some are doing, but I
Mhm.
don't think enough are doing
No.
for it to make a significant impact. And I
Mhm.
think the youth, them, even if them are going to evolve, which nobody not saying them shouldn't,
Mhm.
should always move forward firmly with enough information
Mhm.
about our own culture and
Yes.
our own roots and the beginnings.
And remain
Don't
true
make a
to
job.
ourselves. Remain true
Yes,
to our
that
culture and true to
and
ourselves.
in that it will help you remain true. Because you're armed with the education and the truth of the business. You understand where dancehall and reggae come from and what it represents and what you should do to play your role in the business right now. You know,
Exactly.
so I think the youth them is not really educated much about our culture.
And
I think
they're so arrogant that I don't think they want to know. But you see what I'm looking at? If they try to turn dancehall into hip hop, dancehall will never be accepted as hip hop. Because for you to be a hip hop artist, you have to speak American. You have to have an American accent. That's what hip hop is. So if
yeah,
you're
that's
going to
why
come across as a Jamaican artist with your patois and saying you're a hip hop artist, I'm not sure the hip hop people are ready to embrace you. And then if you move away from the dancehall sound from your own Jamaica, where's the music going to go? What's going to be left? Because you're not really hip hop and you're not dancehall. What are you? Which culture do
there's
you
some type of hybrid. That's why we don't enough up in a billboard again. And You know, see the whole heap of international star out there, like when they have Shabaranks and Ninja Man and Super Cat and Lady Patra and all these people and Shaggy them come up and when I say we're sparse now. When I say
Because
when I come
right
out,
now, nobody knows where to place us in the international music arena. What are we? We're not dancehall anymore. You can say, well, that's Jamaican. And we're not hip hop. You can say that's American. Where do we belong? Where do you place us? So we're killing off the goose that lays the golden egg.
yeah, that is what's happening right now. Because jams, even if you link with jams and you can look at the statistics and they're showing you that they're not paying out any money to no
To
chat
dancehall.
music right now in Jamaica. The money that is being paid to dancehall artists is coming from artists that have authentic catalog and
From
music we
back in
have
the day. From back in the day.
yeah,
But
music with shelf life
even
and
as you
catalog.
mentioned that, even as you mentioned that though, a controversial observation of mine recently, DJ Khaled has been on the island producing some dancehall music. Well, producing Jamaican artists.
Yeah, because I'm a dancer, I'm a producer. I'm a
Some
producer,
of
I'm Jamaican artist.
some of those songs that he's been producing, they're beginning to emerge, but they don't sound like dancehall.
No, Khalid not make dancehall music. Khalid is a hip hop producer. And
Right,
the art
right. So,
and it
so
don't look
what I'm
like the
saying is,
artist they must stick him up and I say, yo, you have to do it in a certain type of way you have to work with it. I think them just work with him, they might go along.
I
And
just
them
think
man,
they're just going along. Maybe he's got
yeah.
a few dollars. He's letting off a few dollars. So people are saying, yeah, I like that. It's not bad for me. So I think so because I heard some of those songs and I think, but that's not dancehall. It's you can hear the accent. It's Jamaican artists, and some really from 80s, 90s artists and all of that. But what we're getting, the music is different.
And
So
Lexus, the
are they
artist Mr.
selling
Lex
out as well?
said something very controversial and he got a whipping
They
from
bun
the
him out.
internet.
They bun him
A
out.
whipping. Yeah, man say yo, DJ Khalid come to Jamaica a while I work with the same artist them and the song them nah it. And he got a whipping. He got a whipping for that. But when they examine it, where is the lie? You know, if you want to be truthful, just take away everything else. Nobody come in with no, oh, let's us jealous or no, no, no. The song that my DJ Khalid make. And me not try bring off nothing, I'm just saying, like, truthfully, like, none of them it, like, we even know none of them. The last time we did make song with the Mavada when he come with him album, he make one song with Mavada and Sizzler and I think Bojo collaboration.
Mhm.
You ever hear a disc jockey even play that on the internet or on the radio in Jamaica? I never say about the share that yet. Nothing. We've never seen it.
And check the
So
international charts as well. Are these songs
we
on?
don't see it in the international chart. If they don't, the one will see it, man.
So the facts
So
are out there. So the facts are out there, really. Like it or not.
it's just through his Lexus say it, and maybe not a more current artist, so to speak. Me I say so, but me not try to bring up nothing. DJ Khaled do what I do, and the artist I do what I do. And if me get the opportunity to advise him, maybe would record with him same way. You know
Well,
what I
well,
say? And
it depends on what the objective is. Is it that Carly is just trying to, he sees a gap in the market for something like this and he's just
no,
homing in on it? Or he feels that he can use his influence to go and sell these records abroad, then, I mean, he's a businessman. He's doing a business. But then if we look at our industry, I mean, what does that mean for our industry? Remember, what a lot of us keep forgetting is that a lot of opportunities are not around for many of us. Music is what provided that opportunity for lots of our people. So you can't play around with this because in the short term, you get a big money. But what happens in the long term? The music is being destroyed. So what are we
yeah.
going to do? Short term gain and we destroy the long term? What do we do?
All right then. Where Khalid case is concerned, I'm going to pretty much say that I knew DJ Khalid associating with Jamaicans from he was just a selector. He was just a normal selector, right? So I think Khalid and all of these people that Khalid working with is people that usually sing him, dubplate them theme and endorse him and embrace him when him come to Jamaica from he was just a little disc jockey coming to play and fully loaded and Sharon Burke and bring him in, Bounty Killer them and I endorsed him and things. So the same set of people him come and I link back with where him a link with from such time. So he may work off a partly sentimental and partly business. Him know how him are gonna make back him money after doing whatever him do. I think it is incumbent on the artist them now to maybe take a stance and say, yo, I go and call it. You have to give up our thing a real strength now, you know. The culture. Not we as friends or as artists. Maybe a cultural move, you know. I said do something for the culture.
Yeah, so basically,
And
do a few
because
hip
I don't think
voice.
it's a cultural move him I make him. I do it more I think him I more do it from a personal levels with these people, because these people is people who I'm close with over a period of years.
Well, as you say, personal slash business. But then, as you say, I like the argument you put forward. Say to them that, well, I know that we're voicing on your hip hop beats, and that's good. But put a really authentic dancehall or reggae beat out there. Let us voice on that too. Mix it, put it on your album as well. So people can hear
Yeah.
your stuff as well as the genuine Jamaican cultural heritage.
I think that's what, yeah. I think the artist, but it depends on the artist to do that. Because Khalid is a hip hop producer. I produce music for film demographic where I'm a producer. You know, me say so. But we understand that we are what made hip hop what it is. You know, when I say Jamaica and a dancehall make hip hop what it is, right? Without
So
hip
it's
hop and
nice.
a dancehall.
Mr. Pepper, it's all good to say that, right? That we make it what it is. But hip hop has its own identity and its own
Mm-hmm.
personality. So hip hop is a separate genre. So although
Mm-hmm.
we make it and we contribute to its growth and its development, whatever you want to call it, what's happening to ours?
That is why the army should be paid on a more wider level and not just a personal level for me. All of them people, Busta Rhyme, him come and him do him can do. You know, him do him can do. Him come and him link up with do him can link up and him do him can do. Him represent Jamaica fully a foreign. If him in any interview him talk and him tell us say Papa San and Stitchy influence him, make him speed rap and all that stuff, and him tell us his Jamaican hip hop come off hip hop should respect
Yeah,
Jamaican music and
hip hop
Jamaican
owes
culture.
everything to dancehall.
Right. So him do him can do. Zine, but we as the artists and producers and people in our own music, we know them knowledge. We need to start being more accountable in ourselves and in our productions that we put out there to the world, because we start sounding like we are imitate them when we did have our own lane and them did have to imitate we.
Exactly so. So and that mean and
Mhm.
right now, if they continue like this, there's not going to be any part of the heritage left for the younger generations coming up to be
Exactly.
somebody in life and get something. Because
Exactly.
as we don't
No,
really
you see,
have
them are
much.
gonna have it, you know. Them are gonna have something like as I said, the trap music. Them are gonna have that, you know. But at the end of the day, it not gonna make no significant move
Exactly, because who's
on in
buying
the
it?
world.
No, yeah, who's buying it? Where do you place it
Mm-hmm.
in the market?
Mm-hmm.
Who's buying it? Because it sounds a bit like hip hop. If they want hip hop, they go to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Go get a hip hop artist.
But I don't think all is lost, though.
Well, I
You
hope
know.
it's not. I hope it's not. And that's why I do a show like this, because I want to keep on promoting the heritage. I'm not an artist, and I will never ever try to be an artist. I don't want to be an artist. But there are people out there who want to be artists. There are people who benefit greatly from being artists. And we need to
Mm-hmm.
keep this goose that lays the golden egg alive so
Yeah.
that generations 20, 50, even long after I'm gone, these people can come and still have a chance to drive a nice car, live in a nice house, buy some medication for their parents and grandparents, and send their kids to school, and just make life good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we still need this. We cannot kill it, and that's why I'm trying to do a show like this to defend things like those.
Mm-hmm.
So we just
So
hope we just keep talking and make sure it happens, man. So where does Mr. Pepper go from here now? I mean, you got new projects, you got new album coming out, you got new singles. I mean, what's in the making?
yeah, well, currently, as you know, we have a EP out on the market right now. It's called hashtag Pepper Them. You know, we have 6 beautiful tracks on it. Yeah. I have a track on it called Fire on the Beat featuring Kabaka Pyramid, and I have a beautiful track for the ladies featuring Voicemail. It's called Best Love. And I have an next track for the streets featuring my DJ called Gado. And the other tracks are by myself, but it's a beautiful set of work. And I have other singles out there rotating right now. One that I'm particularly excited about is the one called Now Worry. It's produced by Well Production and Naya Bless Music. So Well Production is my artist Bridget Natty King. Him say Well. So Well and Naya Bless have my brand new single. It's called Now Worry.
So tell me a
Really
little bit
positive
about
track.
Now Worry, because I think I like the sound of it. I like it.
Oh
Sounds a bit
now
positive. It sounds like faith. There's a lot of faith involved in that, and a lot of hope you're giving.
Yeah, man. You know, the topic, the kind of self-explanatory, you know
Mhm.
what I say? So it goes like sitting and chilling and holding a vibe, giving thanks to Father God cause I'm alive. Tell you me love life, it's sweet, it's so nice. Me broke and me hungry and still I rejoice. Not a minute of the day don't go by that I don't acknowledge and thank me most high. I wake up this morning and open my eyes and see this sunrise. The future look bright. Well, oh well, nothing at all me now worry about. Nah, listen to talk from them dirty mouth. God inna me heart, me nah take him out. And him tell me go hard dog, me no feed out. Nothing at all me nah worry about. Nah, listen to talk from them dirty mouth. Cover me Lord when me stepping out. Cause them a plan hard dog, we get me out. Success and progress are that them na like. Vex how one next youth a sort out him life. Fly out and fly in and do as we like. Buy couple house, couple car, couple bike. And where we coming from, you know it's at a pretty sight. Now we on the mountains looking on the city lights. Our girl them are the baddest, the pretty type. So no matter how the pagan them a criticize, nothing at all me nah worry about. Now listen to talk from them dirty mouth.
I
You see what
love
I
it,
say?
man. I love it, man. I love the confidence in it. I like
Yeah,
that. The
man.
pictures you paint as well. You fly
Yeah,
out as
man.
you like. I like that. See you going on,
Mm.
going, and you buy a couple bikes. So when you come back, I see you get a few bikes. I like the pictures you paint, man. These are nice.
Yeah, man. So it's just
Image is good.
motivational music for the youth, them for them know say, yo, no matter what situation, hard work, cause see it there. You know what I'm saying? And then we serve as the realest motivation for you, them, because we are come from the same place. And we
Exactly.
can show them the formula and show them, say, this is how we do it,
Yes, you
you know, in a
understand it, and you
positive way.
understand it. You understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You've lived it, and this is what you've done with your life. So they're in it
Mm-hmm.
now. And as I said, this is why the show I generally kind of take a slightly more spiritual angle with the show because I want
Mm-hmm.
the artists or the guests who come on here to share their stories, so that people who are going through those similar experience right now, they can look at what has been said and say, well, that's what he
Mm-hmm.
get out of it. Right, I'm going to do the same. So we're providing opportunities. You're providing options for these people.
Provide a blueprint for them follow, you know?
Exactly. And then
Yeah,
well,
man.
even if they don't want to follow the exact blueprint, but they can take something out of yours to
Yeah,
create
man.
their own blueprint. Take a line
Yeah,
that
man.
out of
It's
this.
a from I said the presidents of doing it. You know, other people are gonna reach the same destination, but they may take different routes and things. But for just show that it can be done. You know, and everybody got turn artists. Some are turn ballers, some are turn, educators, some are turn intellects.
But
You know, but there's a
we all
formula.
we're not saying they all need to be artists, and in fact, they can't be, because if they're all
Mm-hmm,
artists, who's going to look after us in the hospitals? Who's going to teach
mm-hmm.
our children? Who's
We
going
just
to pick
need,
up the garbage? Hmm.
yeah, we just need successful people in them own criteria. You know, everybody in them own field successful. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
brother.
So we
This
know the
guy's
right thing and we are gonna do it, man.
Yeah, man. I'm listening out, man. And tell you what, I'll be in touch, brother. Because if you start messing about it, I say, listen, brother, you tell me, and I send this video to you as well. I say, I'm reminding you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
our hopes are pinned on you, man. So tell you what, I don't know if it might be a lot of responsibility, but you know what? You've got the wherewithal to do it, man. You've got the talent, you've got the words, you've got everything. Just
Yeah,
lead,
man.
just lead it. Give the people the
Yeah,
message,
man.
and that's it,
Yeah,
man.
man, Sean, man. I may appreciate what you do also too, man, in terms of, highlighting these things and providing the platform
Yeah, man.
for,
As
these
I
things
said,
to be,
I'm
expressed.
not part of the hype, brother. And the hype, it's been a long time going, the hype. And we're not getting the substance. So we have to do
Yeah,
something differently. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
brother.
that we can start getting people to focus in a different way. Mr. Pepper, it was really good talking to you, man. It was really nice, very refreshing. And I tell you what, we want to see a lot more of the things that you talked about coming out. But before we let you go, I always like to challenge my guests to see how much they know about reggae and dancehall music. And it's your turn. They always come from this book, The Questions. It's Reggae Larger Than Life, the ultimate reggae music fun and games book. It's written by myself. It's currently available on Amazon. In Jamaica, it's available at Ashby's Pharmacy, 106
Yeah,
Good
bro.
Hope Road. Yes, in Kingston, man. And this is
Yeah.
so see, I'm doing my bit, several little bits and pieces. I'll tell you what, if I have I got them there, not quite yet, but yeah, I've got even more coming up. I've got another one that's in the making very soon that will be released as well. So I'm doing my bit, man, to make sure that reggae and dancehall music
Beautiful.
are making their mark out there. We're keeping the culture alive. So I've selected two questions for you, sir. So let's see how strong you are with this. Remember, you run off your mouth quite a bit, so you have to back up this thing. You can't come right at the last, right, just at almost at the finishing line, to come and fall over.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So the first question goes a little thing like this. It says, this Rastafarian Jamaican kindly brought us a whole lot of greetings from Jah in 1986. What was the name of this brother? The options are Luciano, Everton Blender, Cocoa Tea, and Half Pint.
I am a serious baby Sham did sing that song. Could have swore it was like Baby Sham. Like he's not even on the list.
Right. You better try and find a man from the list.
My mother and father Rasta, so I can't miss Rasta questions so easy, you know. No must have point, man.
All right, so the man is on it.
Greetings I bring from Jah.
Yeah, to all.
Ragamuffin. Long time artists are sing about for the gangster them stay away, you know.
You see that?
Ragamuffin road boy was that.
You see that? You see when I talk about, and the man still bring some nice greetings bring from Jah. Father say, yeah, I'm a greet you all.
I tell Ragamuffin them say easy. Just have a chill.
You still the thing. But you see, you come from a Rasta background, so you can pick out that easily because you know so what? The message is strong. Right, sir. All right, but we see if we can go in a lover's corner now. So we talk about the greetings to the hardcore ragamuffin them. Let's see if we can slow it down a little bit now. Name the former Digicel rising star who has done a successful reggae lovers rock remake of the Michael Bolton smash hit Soul Provider. The options are Romain Virgo, Noddy Virtue, Christopher Martin, and I-Octane.
Most Octane, man. Octane, man.
Hey,
I must Octane, but yeah, Mr. Wanda, remember me to miss Rasta question in that. Must Octane. No, man, I'm a singer, man. Romain Virgo, man.
Romain Virgo, sir.
Yeah,
because I was coming back, I was saying, so final answer, sir? Because I was ready down and say, yes, man, I get one up.
Yeah, Romain Virgo, man.
Yeah, man, Romain Virgo, man. Good example as well. I see the man, getting married and, the family thing together and everything. Nice image.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
And we have some positive images where I think we should, because I was on an interview last week, marriage, music and marriage.
Yes, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I was even telling my virgin and my wife, said, would I like to see a show like, with all of the artists them and them wife and the husband them, and like I don't have married, Assassin married, Wayne Marshall married, Romain Virgo, all of that something there. And project more
positive
these positive images of dancehall reggae music and overall of the black family overall.
Yes. So all of these guys come out and you have a chat with them every week about the family life and family this and just family up and down, and you don't have to tell nobody your private business, but just talk about family, and we see you together as family, because the image at the moment is just everybody shooting everybody. And
one time that would have been a boring topic, but I think the people's mind are fully conditioned based of love and hip hop and all of them show the way everybody up in a people's life. But only difference is we are gonna make an up in the positive part of the life right now. You understand? So
listen, man, nothing is boring. Nothing is boring, man. As long as you package it the right way, everything is exciting. Straight, telling people to kill people, what is more gruesome than that? But it's exciting.
Yeah.
The youth I guess for that.
I think certain things like that human nature to it. Human beings, we're wired a certain way where I guess certain things pique with curiosity more than some.
Listen, man, packaging is everything, brother. The way you market the product, that is what. Yeah. And when you present that program, you have a kind of a slant, and you kind of you lean towards that, and you'll always find the energy in the program. Can't be boring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because at the moment, the image of dancehall is everybody is shooting everybody just ram jam and ram up the girls and stab up this and juke up that and whatever, no love making business. It's just slam bam, thank you, move on next, and that's the image of dancehall. It's not nice, it's not pretty.
Yes, and we have all it more positive that if a contact and balance it, but we just need to
bring them to the fore, brother. Bring them to the fore. The thing is, those people are not shouting loud enough. So the ones who are shouting loud enough are the ones who are killing everybody.
Yeah.
We need to bring those people from the background and bring them to the foreground and say, hey, look, nice dancehall family.
Yeah.
Wife, husband, 2 kids, jumping off at school, doing homework at nights, sitting around the table, helping the kids to form their letters, sound out your words. A is short sound or A long sound. Teach the kids.
Yeah. And them things they go a long way with. the therapeutic repair of the people in mind. And the
changing
people
perception.
them, yeah, the people in mind traumatized right now and it need
Very much
repair.
so. Very, because
You
every day
know,
they
so
witness death and dying, and they're living
yes,
in cages. Every house you see,
yes.
there's a burglar bar in it. So the people living in cages, they're scared.
And in our mind too, we
We're
cage in
scared
our
as well
mind
in our
also.
minds.
So yes, we cage in our house and we cage in our mind. You understand? So I think more projection of positive images and positive reaffirmation to make people know say it's not all dark and gloom. I think that would go in a long way in helping the people them as myself and a
Brother, you have the
person.
idea, you have all the ideas, you have all the ideas, you know. You have the ideas, man. We need to see it coming out. Because,
Well,
brother,
as we said earlier on, we need to put some solutions. So more time even subconsciously, without even realizing. That's why we need like-minded people to be organized more and exchanging more
discuss,
dialogue.
yeah, have more
Yes,
dialogue, more
because you will
discourse.
recognize something where in a me where sometimes not even me myself did recognize it did there. So we need that support and that outward,
That
you know.
opportunity to bring it up.
Yes, yes, yeah. So more of this needed on levels, you know, Master. So
Right.
only part thing we get through. It was
So
a good vibe.
you said the artist some more ways, sir, so we can have some discussion with them, sir. So, we're looking
Yeah, man,
forward.
we'll do my best man to do that, man. Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
but send the artists them so we can have some talk with them, because as I said, this is
Yes,
my
man.
lane, brother. I love this. Bring them. We have a nice talk.
Yes, man. Well, so you know, you can call for me, and you know, me link different already. So we definitely gonna move forward with some of that. We'll talk to some people have substance, people have positive experiences we can, you know,
Help
portray
turn
and
to
also
turn
positive
the perception
messages, you know.
around.
Yes, yes. You can want people actually do and know what they matter about it. You know, so no one well, no bag of hypothetically speaking and
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have to go
When you
through them.
finish, because I never get involved in them kind of discussions, because I
No,
know
I never.
that
I seen
they're based on people who want to say, well, I can use the language well. I've got money. People want to come and hype up that I've achieved this and I've achieved that. Listen, I'm not interested in what you achieve. What you achieve is
no,
your private concern, because you
no.
achieve that to enjoy life. So go
Right.
quietly and enjoy that. I'm not keen on your fancy this or fancy that. That's nothing to do with me. Enjoy yourself, man. I'm glad that you have that. Good. But let's talk about real solutions. Is what I'm saying? And not about you saying I can speak clearly, I can speak nicely, and I'm intelligent, I've been to this. Who cares? Bring solutions, man. We want
Mm-hmm.
real things. And as
Mm-hmm.
long as you
Mm-hmm.
bring that, I'm into the conversation. Anything less than that, I don't bother. Don't really want to know. Right, so the
Straight up.
questions were taken from this book, is Reggae Larger Than Life, the Ultimate Reggae Music Fun and Games book. And it's written by myself, as I said earlier. It's available on Amazon, also available at Ashby's Pharmacy. And also, again, the app, the Android version of the app, is available from the Google Play Store. Just type in
Yeah,
Reggae
man.
Larger Than Life Fun app, download it, have some fun, man.
This nice. I want you to send me all them links and information when time me done. So me can do my part, blast it out and send it out, you know, to some of my followers and people them let them know say, yo, here's a Jamaican doing great things, you know. So log
Appreciate
into this.
Appreciate
Yeah, man. You see me I say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man, we have to support the movement, man, Sean, man.
Definitely, man. I love the sound of that, man. As I say, I'm just here doing my thing, and I just want to keep the culture alive. I want to keep the heritage alive, because this reggae music and dancehall music, they provide a lot of food. They feed a lot of people and a lot of opportunities. Even people who never had hopes because they leave school, never did well in school, or for whatever reason. And they're big things now.
This is a way. Mm-hmm.
In a way, so if we kill this, what are they gonna have?
Mm-hmm. We
And
kill
this
off a
is
whole
going to
generation.
continue. There'll still be young people coming out of school, even 20, 50 years on, who still haven't achieved enough. And if this is
Mm-hmm.
not there for them, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not
Yeah.
a politician. I love people, and I love my people, and I want my people to have an opportunity, and that's what I'm after. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any
Mm-hmm.
of their money. I don't want to drive in their fancy car. I don't want to drive in their Benz. I just want you to have your Benz, because the
Mm-hmm.
opportunity is out there. Enjoy life.
Yes, brother.
Live
Yes,
well.
brother.
Yeah, man. Well, that's it, brother. So it was good, man, having you on the show, Mr. Pepper. Telling the man, pepper the thing nicely.
Yeah, man, Sean, man. Bless up, man. And as may I say, it was a pleasure. You know, the platform is a beautiful platform. You know, may I say, and we just keep it positive. And what we can do for strengthen it moving forward, we're going to do that. And, you know, it's a good talking and making the people have some insight into what Mr. Pepper mind is like, you know?
Yes, man. Thank you so much. Because all the time we see you on stage, we hear your music, and we don't know really what's behind that. Who's the man behind that? We know it's Mr. Pepper.
Yeah,
But Mr.
yeah.
Pepper, we don't really get a chance to really find out that the man is was from a tavern up on the Rasta. What do you call it? Rasta Heights. Dread
Dreadites.
from Dread Heights.
Yeah.
And the man, he's had a few bad experiences in the business as well, and he understands the jealousy and everything, but he overcame all of that. He knows how to sidestep all of that, ignore that, and carry on with his life. So we know the man is a man of character, a man of real strength. We didn't even know the man know about Nancy Drew and Mills and Bones. All of
Hardy Boys
and the Hardy Boys. Look at that, man.
Yeah.
Now the world knows who Mr. Peppa is, man. The man is hot. The man's on fire.
Yeah, man. Respect, Shaun, man.
Everything, every time, man. Well, that's it for this edition of the show. We'd just like to thank our special guest, Mr. Peppa, for spending some time with us, talking to us about positive music and also about how we can change dancehall and change the mentality of the youths going forward so that they can be more positive about life and be more encouraged to move forward and do what will bring them the greatest joy in life. That's it for the show. Please remember to subscribe, to like, share, and also leave a comment so we know how we're doing. Until next time, this is Shaun Cain saying thanks for watching. See you soon.